Hello, everyone. Want to go over the vocabulary for lesson two. I'm going to buy this one, so hopefully it's a little shorter. And while I love the other method, it takes quite a bit of time. So we're just going to go through these quickly and give you an easy way to reference the vocabulary that we're going through this week. So the first one we're going to look at is key, key, key. Few things to note here. This is the cough in its regular form. It has a dagesh in it, not because it's doubled, but simply because it's at the beginning of a word and there's no vowel that precedes it. Because it's a part of the Beged Kafet group, we change its sound. If it didn't have this dagesh, the little dot in the middle, it would be ha, he. But that's not how it is. It's ki, ki, which means because, that, when, can also mean things like for, FOR, things like that. It's a helping word. It's a word that helps you get to the next phrase or get through the phrase. Our next one is kara, kara. And if you want to be more like a Middle Eastern speaker, you'd give it that real deep inflection. Kara. Something down deep in the throat. Kara. This is an easy one for me to remember because my wife's name is Kara, and I feel like I need to kneel or bow in her presence. Kara, kara. Not to be confused with some other words that sound like kara in Hebrew. Notice the spelling. The kaf with the comets, the resh with the patach, and the ayin, to kneel or to bow, or he knelt, he bowed. L, l. It's just a lamed. It's always attached to the front of a word. It's always attached to something. It means to or towards, can also take on a number of other meanings, but start with this. And you'll, when you see this attached to the front of a word, then you know that you're going to or towards something, whatever that word may be. Low, low, low. And you might miss that holum, that little dot right there. Low means no or not, negates the word that it's in front of. Min, min. Very important word, means from. Might mean you're coming from somewhere or you received something from someone. You came from the presence of God, things like that. Min, from. Matzah, matzah. The way I originally learned this word, which means to find or he found specifically, is to think of matzah ball soup. So when you're eating your matzah ball soup and you find a ball, you can say, I found it. I found it. Matzah, to find something. Ode, ode. You can think of the one, this sounds like our English word OWED, like I owed the bank some money. Owed. Yet or still can also mean again, waiting, not waiting, but yet this will happen, or this still happened, or again, this happened. Something along those lines. All, all. Same as our word ALL in pronunciation. All, except you're going to start it in the back of the throat. All means on, upon, over, against, concerning, has a wide range of meanings. Again, you'll, when you see it used in Hebrew, it will make sense for its application most of the time. But it typically means on something. Like if I were to say al mita, al mita means on a couch, on a couch, or al ma'ala, on the stairs or on the ramp, something like that. All. That's what that one means. Our next group here is tzon. Tson. This is a final noon. It's not a vav. It's a final noon. Notice how it goes below the line right here. So it's a final noon. Tson. Tson means flock. So typically be animals that would be not wild animals of the field, but domesticated animals in herding, in ranching, those kind of things. A group of animals that would be cared for by a human. A flock can be sheep, goats, whatever animals might be there. Katsar, katsar. Notice we've got the comets and the patak. This is a very common vowel pattern we'll see. When we see this vowel pattern of the comets and the patak, we know it's a verb. We know it's a verb by this vowel pattern. Means he reaped, he sowed, he harvested, something like that. That's what katsar. It's a reaping, harvesting word. Ra'ah. Ra'ah means he saw or to see. He saw. Ra'ah. Ra'ah. The resh aleph. The hey here is silent. During our lesson, we learned that if there were a dot in this hey, that hey would be emphasized. Ra'ah. Ra'ah. But there is no dot in this particular one, so we would not emphasize that particular component. Turn the whiteboard on. Let me turn that off. So we wouldn't emphasize that because there's no dot there. But if we did have a dot there, it'd be emphasized. And do any of you remember what that dot means? What its name is when there's a dot in the hay right here? It's a mapik because it peeks out to tell you to pronounce that hay. Sare. Sare. Notice this one has the dot on the left. So this is seen. And sin is never on the right. Sade. This is a field. And to have the plural of field, sadot. And remember when we read, we come down, back up, sadot, sadot, sadot. That would be fields. It's the plural of field. Sane. Sane. You're learning this word in lesson 2 because you might start hating this class or strongly disliking this class. Sane. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully you have nothing but ahav, love for this class. Sha'al. Sha'al. I don't know why I associate this with our English word shall. Shall I do that for you? Which is a question, to ask something, to inquire. Sha'al means to ask or inquire of someone. He asked, he inquired. And here's one you hear all the time. Shalom. Shalom. This guy right here is not a consonant. This is a vowel. It's the holam vav. Shalom. Shalom means peace or well-being. It's a noun. Yes, peace can be a noun. And if you're anything like me, you wish there were more nouns called peace